Good morning and welcome to Stretch Saturday. Good morning and welcome to Stretch Saturday, that time of the week when we just can nicely stretch all those muscles, work on the development of those muscles as well. And again, these stretch exercises are great when you're working out. So look at each of the different muscle sets we're going through and utilize these at the start to, when you finish your sets, to help you cool down and help you give yourself that great kind of quality and expansion of those different muscle sets. Right, so we're going to start off right now with just a nice gentle walk. So just going to swing our arms forwards and backwards. That's it, nicely. If you want to kind of move as well, you can do so. Anything is kind of just nice and gentle. It's not about making huge kind of motions in this one. Just nice and gentle. That's it. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to now bring our arms up. Just start to swing them around in some great big circles. That's a nice big circles, all the way forwards, all the way backwards. So again, bring your arms as far forward as you can, and as far back as you can. And go in the reverse, so go backwards, drive your arms backwards, all the way back. That's it. Okay. I'm going to bring our arms out to the side, going to turn one palm up, the other palm down, and push your body over to the one that's got the palm up. Try and keep both feet on the ground as you push, and twist the hands the other way around. So the palm that's up faces down, palm faces up, and push in the opposite direction to the palm that's facing up. And keep feet nicely grounded, and the other way. And now we're going to bring them both in together, nicely pushing side to side. Bring yourself back to the center. We're going to bend at the arms and then go around in big arm circles. If you pop your thumbs up, you might find it a little bit easier to kind of trace where your arms are going. Make sure your arms are going in nice circles. You don't necessarily need to be far away from the body, just to the sides. And the opposite direction, big circles. That's it. Okay, bring your arms down. Your arms are probably aching a little bit, so let's just work on your shoulders. So really kind of roll your shoulders all the way back. As you bring them back, squeeze your back and stretch your chest. Really stretch your chest out. Feel that kind of expansion across your chest. And feel your shoulder blades pull together down your back. Morning, Corey.
Overweight.
No worries, we're just on the warm-up piece. So we're just doing some shoulder. So we're just going to roll our shoulders forwards now. And feel that kind of big expansion across our back. And feel that squeeze in our chest as we bring them round. All the way around. Okay. Now we're just going to shrug our shoulders, bring our shoulders up to our ears. It's probably one of those impossible tasks, but it gives you an image of what you're trying to do. That's it. Just all the way up. Okay. Right. We're going to move down now into our hips, and we're just going to do some rotations. So we're going to rotate the body all the way down to the left. So turn the head first. Feel that stretch, so it goes across the body from your hip to your shoulders. And then back to center and twist the other direction. Exactly the same. Big stretch. And then back to center and the other direction. Back to center one more time. Okay, and back to the center. We're now going to do some hip flicks, just side to side. So really kind of pushing our hips in, have that nice flicking motion that goes on. It'd be remiss of me if I didn't say it like I do every time. This is the main movement you do when you're trying to right your boat when you're kayaking and you've gone upside down. All in the hips. Nice hip flicks. Mark is joining us. He's just having computer problems. That's it. Now we're going to do some pelvic tilts. Morning, Mark. So push our pelvis all the way back. So we get that stretch down the back of our legs. And then all the way forwards. So we get a stretch down the front of our body and legs. And then all the way back again. Again, if you want to increase the stretch, just pop your head back. All the way forward and all the way back. Again, pivoting at the hips. So you should feel that all the way down your hamstrings and your calves. That's it. As Mark was saying yesterday, this is a great one for runners. Okay, back to centre. Now we're going to do some hip rotations. As David McConaughey would say, you're in a box. You know, make it the biggest box you can, but the only thing that's going to make it a big box is your hips. So what's the biggest box you can stand in right this moment in time? How far around can you get those hips? Okay, and in the opposite direction. Really driving your hips forwards, to the side, and backwards. Oh, big round circles. That's it. Okay. From there, we're going to bring our knees together. Pop our hands on our knees. Going to do some knee rotations. So I'll do this slightly from the side, might be easier. So we're going to go around in some big circles in one direction. Okay, get that nice bend in your knees. Just bring them all the way around. Don't worry if you feel a bit of clicking. It's probably usually quite normal. And in the opposite direction. Again, it can be described sometimes as a Rice Krispie kind of sound. That snap, crackle, and pop. But as with anything, if we get any pain, we stop. That's our body's telling us something's wrong. If it's just a little bit achy, it's just telling you you've done something right in the week. Okay, standing back up. We're going to move on to our ankles now. Do some ankle rotations. If you need to, grab hold of something so you've got some balance. If you can do it without, then great, because you're going to get a little bit more of a workout with your muscles. And we're literally just going to do some rotations of your ankles. So round in one direction. That's it, all the way around. Big circles, as big as you can make them. As you bring it down to the bottom, point your feet. So you kind of feel it all the way down the front of your lower leg. And as you bring it up to the top, point your feet, your toes towards the ceiling. So you start to feel it down your calf as well. The opposite direction. That's it. Right, now we're going to go to the other leg. Same again. In one direction. Nice big pointy movements. To the floor, to the ceiling, to each side. As you're rotating around. And the opposite direction. Nice big circles. Feel that kind of stretching all the way around your ankle, your metatarsals in your foot, up your leg. That's it. Okay, so back to standing. We're now going to look at our wrists and our hands. So it's to interlock our fingers, bring our elbows together. I'm going to do some wrist rotations. So just going to roll the wrists in one direction. Being told this is really good for boxers. Not too sure where we've got many boxers in today, but nice and challenging. When you get faster and faster and faster, sit, roll those wrists and faster Okay, slow it down. Slow it down. Okay, here comes the challenging part. We need to do it in the opposite direction. Yeah, you always find they've got one side of us that's more dominant than the other. So that means you have to be conscious that we actually work both sides of our body. Okay. Make it a little bit more challenging and make it a bit faster. And still try to keep to the opposite direction. And a bit faster still. That's it, and slow it down. Okay, we're going to check it out. Bring our hands roughly just at 90 degrees. We're just going to flick the wrists. Crazy day in the office. You try and get rid of those emails before the weekend. That's it. Hey, turn your palms up. Keep flicking those wrists. And palms down. That's it. Palms up again. This is one of Gemma's favourites, is this, and palms down. So yeah, Gemma, if you're watching the recording, make sure you're doing this one. Okay. Now we're kind of warmed up the body, we're going to move on to our neck. It's one of those areas you don't really want to do when it's cool, but now you're warmed up, it's okay. So we're going to start off by raising our head to the ceiling and then chin to the chest. All the way up and all the way down. Nice, big movements. Don't push it too much though. Just what's natural, what feels natural for your head to do. So kind of start to work out your axis and axle joints. That's wrong. But anyway, I don't remember which one the right joints are in a minute. Bring your head to centre, turn your head to the left and to the right. Atlas and axis joint, left and right. Left and right. Again, just looking, not pushing it too far, just as far as your neck wants to take your head. Okay, bring it to the centre. Now we're going to do our ears to our shoulders. So we can keep our shoulders down. We're stretching our head towards our shoulders. We should feel this all the way down the sides of our neck. And then all the way down into our medial delts. Across our shoulders. That's it. Okay, right. Give that a check out. Hopefully feel a little bit more warmed and a bit ready for doing some stretching now. So we're going to take each muscle group individually. I'm going to start off by stretching our chest. So it's important that we understand which muscles we're working. So the first one is the pectoral muscle. So the pectoral muscle is the one that starts at your sternum. So that's the kind of bone in the center of your chest. And it's a little bit like your hand. If you take the heel of your hand, you put your heel towards your sternum and you just fan your hand out across the top of your chest, that's roughly the shape of your muscle. And the muscle itself connects then to your arm. So if you actually bring your arm up, you kind of squeeze it up and you feel underneath your armpit, that's where the muscle is kind of connecting in. So when we're looking to stretch this, given the fact that this muscle is designed to push things away, we are looking to try and do the opposite and trying to stretch in the opposite direction. So we're going to use our arm as a lever at 90 degrees against a wall. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put some pressure on it to stretch this muscle as we're going forwards. So let's demonstrate that. Not the world's greatest space, but we can make it work. So find yourself a space in the wall. Arm roughly at shoulder height. Keep your shoulders down, not up. Your shoulders don't have to be high. Put your foot forward, the one that's closest to the wall. And I want you to lean forwards, applying some pressure onto your arm, but feel that stretch across your chest. Once you've found that stretch, just hold it. I'm going to hold it 15 seconds. And release. We're going to do one more time. So find that stretch point again. I want you to push that a little bit more this time. And hold it 15 seconds again. and release. Okay, now we're going to do exactly the same but on the other side. So arm at 90 degrees, shoulder down, leg that's closest to the wall just comes forwards, and gently and easily apply some pressure until you find that stretch point for your pectoral muscle. Once you've found it, hold it. And release. One more time. Just find that stretch point, push that a little bit further and hold it. And release. Okay. Give that a bit of a shake out. And again, you can do those after you've done your kind of anything to do with chest exercises. It's also an interesting one if you've got when you're working out your chest specifically. As you get towards the end of your workout, as you start to put your metabolic stress work in, it's a nice one to actually do a stretch in between each set. And again, that can have some great improvement because as you're kind of getting towards the end of your process, you're building up that lactic acid, it's where being able to work some of that out. So it gives you a little bit more of a range. So that's something you can use as part of your programming. Next one we're going to do is we're going to move our attention to our arms. Specifically, we're going to work on our bicep. So if you remember, our bicep muscle goes down the front of our arm, origin point in the shoulder, anchors down by your elbow, so it allows you to lift your arm. So obviously, what we're going to want to do is the opposite. We want to push our arm away. So it's going to be a very similar looking exercise to what we just did for a chest exercise. We're going to bring our arm up to a shoulder height, and keeping our shoulders down. We're going to want to turn our arm so that the muscle's facing forwards. Yep. So for me, what I aim to do is I aim to put the heel of my hand against the wall, and then I can push into the wall and stretch this muscle. Okay. So same thing again. Find some wall space. Make sure your bicep is facing forwards. Your shoulders are down. And just put a little bit of pressure to start off with on the leg that's closest to the wall as you step forwards. And so you find that stretch point, and once you found it, hold it. And release. One more time, exactly the same. So find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay. Exactly the same on the other side. So ensure that our bicep is facing forwards, shoulder down, arm at shoulder height. And we're going to put a little bit of pressure. So step forwards, find that stretch point, and hold it. And release. One more time. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay. So we're going to shake our arms off. We're going to let everything in. Come on. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to move to the opposite side. We're going to do the triceps down the back of our arms. So just as our bicep raises our arms, our triceps are there to stretch our arms down. So for us to be able to stretch the tricep, we actually need to bring our arm fully up, allow us to stretch down here. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. The one we're going to choose this morning is we're going to bring our arm across the top of our head, then bend it down our back. And what we need to do is put some pressure onto the arm, and you'll feel you stretch your tricep. And at the same time, just bend in that direction so you feel that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay, one more time. Again, bring your arm over your head. Bend your elbow down, reach with the other hand. Gently pull your arm and body across till you find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Now I'm going to go the opposite arm. So arm up, over our head. Bring our hand onto our elbow. Just apply some pressures, feel the stretch. And a little bit more as we pull our body over. Find that stretch point and hold it. And release. And one more time, arm over our head. Hand onto the elbow, find that stretch point. Pull our body over and hold it. And release. Okay, shake off our arms, shake off our shoulders and everything. We're going to move next onto our shoulders itself. So for our shoulders, we're going to look to stretch, so like just down at the muscle sets here, and also it's going to work the traps as well. I'm going to start off by just bringing our arm, just keeping the shoulders down, bring our arm across our body, and with the other arm, we're going to hug it into our body itself, so we can feel that stretch. Try not make the arm go up, try and keep the arm, the shoulder down. Once we find it, that stretch point, hold it. And release. One more time, just down across the body. Bring the arm in, find the stretch point and hold it. And release. We're going to do the same on the other side. So again, keeping the shoulder low, bring the arm across, find that stretch point and hold it. And release. One more time, across our body, keep the shoulder down, find that stretch point and hold it. And release. Okay. From there, we're going to move now onto our back. Now with our back, we're mainly trying to target the lat muscles. So that's the big sets of muscles down here. It mainly allows us to pull things back towards us. So it's that kind of pulling motion that we're looking for. So given the fact that our lats allow us to do that, what we're going to look to do is to pull it in the opposite direction. We're also going to, the lats allow us to do it from one side to the other. So we're going to have to do two different stretches. One's going to be pulling down, the other one's going to be pulling across. So let's start with the one that pulls down. So it almost looks like a diver. So bring your feet together, arms up above your head. Now what you want to do is bring your body down and try and push your fingertips towards the ground until you feel that stretch down your back. And hold it. And release. Okay, one more time. Arms straight up above our head. Get that nice stretch across our back. And with that nice open spine, bring it down. All the way down. Feel it stretch down your back. And hold it. And release. And back to centre. For the next one, we're going to look to stretch down the sides of our lats. So we're going to bring our arm up above our head, grab hold of our wrist, and pull ourselves to the other side. So we should feel that stretch all the way down the side of our body. And hold it. And release. Okay, one more time. Arm over the head, grab hold of the wrist, pulling over that side of the body, and hold it. And release. Okay. Opposite side. Again, arm up. Grab hold of the wrist. And pull yourself over. Feel the stretch and hold it. And release. One more time, arm up, grab the wrist, pull and hold it. And release. Okay. So now we've done our back, we've done our arms, we've done our chest, we've pretty much done everything on our upper body. We're now going to move down into our legs. So we're going to start off by stretching our quads. So one of the easy ways of doing this is bring our foot up, trying to get the heel of our foot towards our bottom, and that should start to feel like we're stretching our quads. If you find it doesn't have quite as much of a stretch, or if that's quite easy for you to do, just tip your body forward slightly. If you need to hold on to something, do so. And that'll increase the stretch down your quads. And hold it. And release. Okay, same leg, one more time. So bring the heel up to our bottoms. Find that stretch position. Go that little bit deeper. And hold it. Okay. And release. Okay, now we're going to go on to the opposite leg. Here we are, we're doing the opposite leg. Heel to the bottom. Yep, find that stretch point. And hold it. I love you. And release. One more time. The heel to the bottom. Find that stretch point. And hold it. And release. Okay. From there, we're going to go into a classic runner's stretch. So big with your feet, shoulder width apart. Step one step forwards. Bend the back leg. Pull your toes up. And then drop your weight down so you can feel that stretch on your calf. Put your hands just above your knee. Apply a little bit of pressure so you can also feel that stretch from your calf starting your hamstrings. And hold it. And release. Same thing again. Pull your toes up. Apply a little bit of pressure. Bend your back knee. Just go a little bit deeper into the stretch and hold it. And release. Now we're going to do the other side. So just twist our body round, bend that, what was the front leg and now it's the back leg. Pull your front toes forwards. Apply a little bit of pressure just above your knee and hold it. And release. And one more time. Pull those toes up. Apply a little bit of pressure. Feel that stretch down the back of your hamstrings and your calves. You're grumbling and release. Okay. Right, just shake those out a little bit. For the next one, we're going to go onto the ground. So I am going to need my mat back, thank you. So I want us to lay on our backs. Legs nice and straight. Arms out to each side. So create almost like a cross shape. And then from there, we're going to bring one leg up. Put the foot on the opposite side of your knee. And from there, you're going to keep your shoulders on the ground, but keep rotating your body towards the side that you just put your foot down and see how far you can get your knee as close to the ground as you can. So you should feel the stretch across your chest, your back, and your glutes. And hold it. And release. So back to center. We're going to go push it one more time. So again, just dropping the knee, continuing that stretch all the way down your shoulders, your chest, your back, your glutes. See how close you can get your knees to the ground, but without raising your shoulders off the ground. And hold it. And release. Okay, so back onto your back, put your leg down. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side. So bring your opposite foot, leg up and put the foot to the opposite side of your knee. And I'm going to continue that motion, pushing your knee towards the ground, and again without raising your shoulders off the ground. Feel that stretch and hold it. And release. One more time. Push it back over to that side. Again, go that a little bit further if you can, but without getting your shoulders off the ground. Hold it. And release. Back to centre and leg down. Okay, from there, we're going to bring ourselves onto our front. In fact, I'm going to move my mat slightly as we go and work more of our back. Wait, off. Dog stops play. Thank you. Okay. So, onto your hands and knees. We're going to do some cat-cows. So for this, we're going to bring our head down between our arms and really round our back into that kind of angry cat pose. You can imagine there's almost like a piece of string running from your belly button all the way up your back, and as if someone's pulling that string to try and get your belly button through your back. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to raise our head. We're now pulling your belly button as close as they can to the ground, really round. Squeeze that back. Bring your stomach towards the ground, your head up, so you're looking towards the ceiling. That kind of cow pose. And then reverse that again. So pulling it up, arching your back, bring your head between your elbows. Really feel that kind of opening up of your back. That nice stretch. And likewise, into cow pose. So you bring your gaze up and you bring your stomach down, you're squeezing your back, you're opening up your chest, the whole front of your body. Okay. That's it. Right, from there, we're going to just bring our body flat to the ground with our hands just underneath our shoulders. We're going to press the ground away. Bring ourselves up into like a cobra, looking up at the ceiling. Again, feeling that nice stretch across the front of our body. And from there, we're going to push back. So through into all fours, into a child's pose. So that's with pushing our backside backwards, bringing our head, forehead towards the ground. And again, keep that real stretch across your back, your shoulders, your arms. And then from there, just transition back forwards onto the ground. Push the ground away to go into our cobra. And then back down, pushing our backside backwards. Into child's pose, putting the head on the ground. That's it. Feel that nice stretch across your back and your shoulders. Okay, go back up onto all fours. And to finish off, we'll do what my chiropractor calls the Superman pose. And that's why I'm going to put one arm forwards. So this is your right arm, you put it forwards, and you're going to put your left leg backwards. I want you to point your toes and your fingers. You want to see if you can touch the wall in front of you and the wall behind you. Make your body as long as you possibly can. Really stretch out. Feel like a line from Star Wars. Stretch out with your feelings. In this case, stretch out with your hands and toes. Okay, and back onto all fours. We're going to do the opposite. So left arm, right leg. Again, really stretch out those fingers and toes. Feel your whole body kind of get that little bit taller. Just kind of moving that forwards and backwards. Okay. Bring it back to the center. Back to the first set. So left leg, right arm. Really feel that stretch. That's it. You can move it, you can make it that little bit stronger, a little bit longer. Back to the center. And back to our left arm, right leg. Really push them. See as close as you can get them to those walls. Okay, and back to center. Okay, we're going to stand up, shake ourselves off, and that's another stretch Saturday complete. So just remember, development stretching. When you finish doing a workout, your normal stretch is just to do one set. That'll help release some of that tension. So it helps with things like the DOMs, so reduces how painful that can be. It's also a great way if you're sipping things like EAA, etc., or BCAAs, as you're kind of putting that stretch in, you're kind of releasing some of that muscle tension, which means that you've got that ability for nutrients to get into the muscle fibers again. So again, a great way of being able to utilize that during your workout as well as just straight away afterwards. Developmental stretching is slightly different. We're doing 2 sets because we're taking that initial stretch out and then we're stretching that a little bit further just to make those muscles bigger. As you get bigger muscles, your body becomes more inefficient, but actually becomes even better at building muscle. So hopefully that's made a lot more sense. Have a super, super weekend ahead. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday.
Thanks, Martin.
You're welcome as always.
Thank you.
Right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.